Hello everybody, welcome, and it's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the Twin Astrology forecast for the week ahead. We've got a very powerful week for the Twin Flame Collective for those on the awakening and ascension journey, and so we're going to talk about these energies. I am super excited. Today we have the spring equinox, and today also is a palindrome day, and so the date forwards and backwards is like a mirror. And so a palindrome, the meaning of a palindrome, or the spiritual meaning of a palindrome, is basically a word, a number, or a phrase, or a sequence of units that can be read the same way, either forwards or backwards. And so the Greek meaning of palindrome means running back again. So I do feel something coming back. It's like that boomerang effect is kind of what I'm feeling. And so the sun enters into Aries, actually in my area, in my local area, at 5:25 this afternoon, indicating a powerful spring equinox portal. Just prior to the sun entering into Aries, just a couple degrees before it enters into Aries, we do have the sun in Pisces today, sextile Pluto in Capricorn. So those are some big energies that I kind of wanted to talk about, with today being a palindrome day as well. And when I added all the numbers together, it does break down to the number 3, which does represent the Empress. So divine feminine, listen up. Something is coming into manifestation. So I did want to kind of talk about the number 3. The number 3, I feel, is urging the divine feminine collective to cultivate and express their personal magic. And this is vital right now, that we all learn to channel and devote this creative energy to a commitment of some sort. And so whether it's a large project, something that is going to be growing. And what I want to remind all of the divine feminines of is, hey, we're always going to have critics in our life, right? That's going to be part of the territory when you shine bright. And so I feel a challenge this week for the divine feminine is to rise above the fray and to learn how to really develop fierce self-love, because a big part of our destiny is to inspire, motivate, and heal and uplift the collective. And so what are you being called to do when it comes to inspiring the collective, healing and uplifting and energizing others? That's what the number 3 represents. My life path is number 3. And so my ultimate purpose comes through me when I'm operating out of this core sense of optimism, joy, enthusiasm, compassion, right? And so I do feel many of the divine feminines this week in these energies are going to be challenged to learn to identify and to embrace all facets of your emotional life. And when we embrace all facets of our emotional body, our emotional life, that is when we become most effective in helping not only ourselves, but others, right? And many of us have a gift with our words, whether it's verbal or written communication. And many of us have a gift through our amazing sense of wit and humor. I know I can always find the lightheartedness and crack a joke in the most inopportune moments. And so what can you do this week to become more lighthearted? I do feel communication is in focus, listening is in focus. And so if you are finding it challenging in any areas of your emotional life with the ups and downs that we've been experiencing, like a roller coaster, or maybe you've dipped into a little bit of a depression or a depressive state because maybe you've recently been judged or criticized by another, don't go into any tendencies of overthinking this week. Schedule in some time to relax your brain, or else you're likely going to go a little bit crazy this week. And so there's a lot of residual wounds coming up this week, I feel, from childhood for the twin flames. So don't resist these feelings. Do not resist these feelings, because these feelings will bring forward a lot of profound spiritual wisdom. And the energies today, I feel, are calling us to express ourselves fully and wholly. Because when we do that and we are authentic in our expression, then we help others to do the same in a positive way, right? And so with the sun sextile Pluto, this is bringing forward this feeling of empowerment to initiate positive changes, right? Or maybe even restore whatever's kind of died away or broken down. But it's this energy of feeling some type of illumination, an intense illumination. It is like this energy of the phoenix rising, regenerative energies, right? And so whenever the sun forms an aspect to any part in the astrology chart, especially with Pluto, this is saying you need to harness your spiritual strength and your capacity to shed or let go of something in your life that's created discord, disarray, disorder, in order to clear the energy, to clear the ground. It's like a 0 point energy for this new life and this new growth to be enhanced. And so this is like preparatory transits for the new moon in Aries. And so we have the new moon in Aries tomorrow locally in my area at 13:22 in the afternoon. And so this is a new moon in Aries at 0 degrees. And this is the first of 2 moons in Aries. And so we're taking that leap of faith with this new moon. We're a little bit new. We're a little bit, wobbly. And then come that second new moon in Aries at 29 degrees, we're ready. We are ready to close out that age of Pisces and step into this new cycle. And so this new moon at 0 degrees, it's like what we call an anaretic degree or a critical degree. And then we'll close it out at another anaretic critical degree. And so this new moon in Aries truly is marking the beginning of a brand new cycle for the Twin Flame Collective. And so that Pisces new moon cycle is coming to an end, and this new cycle is beginning, right? And so this is the perfect opportunity to sit down with yourself and to figure out what it is you need to commit to when it comes to your personal goals, right? Aries is about the self. Aries is the masculine principle. And how can you express those energies positively in the sign of the Ram, right? The Ram does indicate it is time to take some action. And so the masculines are being pushed to try something new, to try something innovative, and to go with their gut, to find their gusto, to find their confidence, to be assertive without being too abrasive, to take charge of their life is what I'm feeling. And so there's like all of this new personal discovery coming forward. This is a very strong cycle. And the energies are very strong, are very potent when it comes to reevaluating our relationship with ourselves, because we cannot have healthy reciprocal relationships with another if we haven't done the integration work with having that solid, deepened relationship with ourselves. And so we have the chance to make these important changes over the coming 4 weeks. It really is time to make those solid, realistic plans and to set that stage for reaping the rewards for all of the hard work that we've done preparing for this new beginning. And so in 2 weeks' time, we're going to have the full moon in Libra. We're going to release these imbalances, and then we're going to prepare for that second new moon in Aries. And so the energy is ripe for new opportunities, for new beginnings, and taking right action. What I want to say with Aries energy, I have my Mercury in Aries, and I also have Aries in my second house of finance and self-worth and self-value. I also have Aries in my third house of communication. And so for me, over the coming month, I'll be working with my second and my third house, along with the 8th and the 9th house. The opposite of the Aries would be the Libra. And so what I want to say is I like to learn through experience. I'm always one to take action and think it through later. I'm always like, I'll shoot first and I'll worry about it later, right? But I feel like this energy of a new adventure, we are entering into a very good, positive cycle. And this is where we step into expressing ourselves authentically, right? Because when we really express who we truly are without any put-ons or put-offs, that's when we can really master to learn how to kind of rely on ourselves, to be happy by ourselves, right? And so that's a big part of finding inner happiness. When we know that we can be self-sufficient without blaming others for our shortcomings or without depending on others to lift us up out of our darkness, So I do feel, where do you need to revitalize your energy through whatever experience needed in order to break free from the mundane, right? What do you need to do to start something new and to start something fresh? And so at this 0 degree point, this is a very strong new beginning theme. And this is globally, this is collectively. And with its alignment with Mercury, it is adding a mental communicative theme to this fresh start, along with Mars, the ruler of Aries. And so it will form an out of sign square during this new moon. And so this is saying we're ready to put in the hard work. We're ready to maybe be impulsive and take action, although it might be a little bit premature because of the 0 degree, like I talked about. And so if you have personal planets and points at approximately 0 to 5 degrees in any of the cardinal signs, which would be Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, get ready to feel these energies very significantly, as well as if you have any major mutable sign placements from 27 to 30 degrees in Gemini, Virgo, Sag, or Pisces. So this is a time where we can really choose to kind of work on these Venusian aspects of our life, especially with Venus in Taurus conjunct the North Node in Taurus a few hours after the new moon. And both Venus and the North Node are going to be in the 9th house of Taurus, which is the subconscious mind. And so we're being afforded an opportunity to really take a look at our money, our physical appearance, and all of our relationships, right? What is your relationship with your self-worth, your self-value, how you take care of yourself? How do you take care of or handle your money? I know Taurus can be very frugal. How do you handle your relationships? And so what I want to say with this North Node transit, it's not easy. Any North Node transits are not easy. It usually indicates a skipped step or a skipped lesson. So you can expect to reassess all relationships and if the relationship you're in currently is right for you or not. So we got some big energies, right? And then on Thursday this week, we have a Mercury trine Lilith. We also have Pluto entering into Aquarius, and it's entering into Aquarius in the 10th house of Capricorn, right? And we got to remember Pluto's leaving Capricorn, entering into Aquarius. So we're kind of integrating the Capricorn Aquarius energy. And all at the same time, we have the moon entering into Taurus and Venus squaring it up with Lilith. And so this is likely going to be one of the most important transits of the week, of the decade maybe, with Pluto going into Aquarius. And so it's going into Aquarius on the 23rd. It will retrograde back into Capricorn on June 11th. And then it will go back into Aquarius not until January of 2024, January 21st of 2024. And that's when it will fully leave Capricorn and get rooted in Aquarius. And then it'll stay in Aquarius until January 19th of 2044. And so 20 years of Pluto in Aquarius. So you're really going to want to pay attention to where Aquarius is in your natal chart, because over the next 20 years, that's the house it's going to be in and affecting. And so for me, it's going to be in my 12th house. The 12th house is the house of spirituality. It is the house of karma. It is the house that knows no bounds. It is the house of burying the past, right? And so I also have my South Node in Aquarius in the 12th house. And so this, when we had Saturn in Aquarius, it was kind of like a prerequisite as to what the Pluto energy is kind of going to bring into that housing. So if you did the work while Saturn was in Aquarius, then it should be easy breezy. It shouldn't be as gloomy as it's going to sound. But Pluto transits are really going to bring forward all kinds of triggers. Pluto is here to upheave the status quo, right? And whenever Pluto shifts into another sign, it does affect our lives and society as a whole in very unprecedented ways. And so Saturn and Jupiter's transits through Aquarius throughout 2020 to 2023, they gave us that taste of this Aquarian theme of what we're going to be working with and relevant as Pluto goes into Aquarius. And so Pluto being the last planet in the solar system, and I think they've even said Pluto's no longer a planet, but whatever, it's there. We're reaching the final frontier is what I'm feeling. And so the reality that we currently know is going to get a little bit upheaved. Pluto deals with mystery, death, the unknown, what's on the other side. And so get ready for power and control issues to come up. Get ready to go into the depths of this transformation. Get ready for some type of crisis to come forward that you're going to have to surrender to. This is a big, big cycle of birth, death, and rebirth happening. And so Pluto is like this higher octave of Mars. And so Mars is destruction, right? I always think of the tower energy with Mars. It's personal willpower. It's taking action, asserting ourselves. That's what Mars is supposed to do. The masculine energy is the action taker. So for example, like when you go to the grocery store, you're acting out of your Mars energy. Nobody can tell you, hey, I can't go to the grocery store. I'm going to go to the grocery store if that's what I want to do, right? But if they close down that grocery store, then I guess you can't really do much about that, and you can't go to the grocery store, right? You can fight it, you can sign a petition and whatever, but there are just some forces that are greater than us that play out with this dimension of energies, right? And so Pluto is like this collective dimension of Mars. And so the masculine collective is going to get upheaved with this transit. And so they're going to have to sum up the will to find their own life force energy to deal with these challenges. And so Pluto is this powerful, natural, upheaving energy. And so if you are already aligned with your Mars energy, aligned in your truth, then I think everything is going to be fine with this transit. But if you're not aligned with the collective divine will, get ready to be crushed, is what I want to say. Pluto is going to strike. You're going to have no say. You're going to be at the mercy of these plutonic powers that are greater than yourself. And so I do feel the masculines are in for a wild ride this week because of all of the secrets. They can no longer keep these secrets below the surface. They can no longer keep putting up this strong fight, this battle. They can't win. It's a losing battle. It's time to surrender. It's time to trust in the workings of the universe, right? And so Pluto's role is like to keep things going. And Pluto does come along to eliminate what can no longer be sustained in your life. So if something's rotten, if something isn't working, Pluto's for sure going to eliminate it in order to create that space for new growth, right? We got to trim the dead branches. And so at a society level, this is what the twin flames came here to do, to build this new world. And so Pluto's going to come in and eliminate and erode all of this corruption, this rotten society corruption that was built in Capricorn, right? And so Capricorn was all about power and control dynamics. There was a father that ran the show, so to speak. And so we're going to have a hard time with some very difficult conditions coming up, because Aquarius, being an air sign, is concerned with truth, intellect, communication. It is truth. And if you think about it, Mars and Gemini would be like our internal communication. Libra is like one-on-one communication with another. And Aquarius is collective communication. So it does rule lots of communication, like the internet, social media. That's all ruled by Aquarius, right? And so there's a lot of light coming through, knowledge coming through. And we think about Aquarius too. Aquarius rules our friends, our groups of friends and people, organization, larger committees. It also rules like infrastructure. Political councils, those are all Aquarian themes. Marketplaces, right? When I go and I do the new moon markets, that's an Aquarian theme there, right? Marketplaces. And so stock exchange would actually be the largest marketplace in the world. And so Aquarius does rule society as a whole, small and large groups, right? And with Pluto in Aquarius, it's going to expose what groups you're connected to that can no longer build solid structures with you, one-on-one relationships. It's just going to upheave the whole infrastructure of Earth in order to manifest new Earth, is what I'm feeling. And so get ready for initiations coming forward that will expose a lot of what's no longer working, because Pluto's coming in to say, hey, it's time to purge this toxicity that's no longer needed. And so a major purge. I want to say, like, this week, I don't think it's going to be very pretty. I'm just going to put that out there. I don't think it's going to be pretty. It's going to be a very intense process of complete overhaul if you've not already embraced the purging process, right? If you've avoided and delayed, this is going to be a little bit painful. And so anything intrusive coming forward as part of this Plutonic transformation is going to bring forward positive results. With Pluto in Capricorn, it was all about the big wig in charge who had the power. With Pluto in Capricorn, it was like somebody had to be in control. And with Pluto in Aquarius, it's like nobody's in control, right? We all have a choice to stop relying on another or a system or a government or a parent figure, right? With Pluto in Aquarius, it's we the people have the power. We the people have the power. So there's going to be new opportunities and new obligations that come from that, right? This is where we step into these new earth leadership positions, right? A lot of us are here to explain the spiritual history of our, you know, our human existence. And what I also want to say is, I know for me with my Aquarius in 12th house and my South Node in Aquarius, it was a lot for me to get over my fear of public speaking, right? So for me, my comfort zone in Aquarius is to be a part of the people, right? The big crowd. And so this is the life. I take all of that Aquarian knowledge, all of that Aquarian wisdom, which has no bounds because my South Node is in my 12th house. And I take that and I step into the Leo energy. My Mars is also in Leo. And I overcome that fear of public speaking, right? And this fear of public speaking for many of the divine masculines and feminines does come from a fear of death because we were persecuted in a past life. And so we likely in a past life were persecuted for doing something wrong. Maybe you were dragged in front of the tribe or the village or the tribal community, and they got to decide what to do with you with what you did wrong. Or maybe you were eliminated or executed in a past life, you know. So the exclusion pretty much meant death in a past life or killing us, right, for using our gifts. And so if we go back to biblical times, stoning would be a good example of an Aquarian punishment, or the crucifixion of Jesus Christ would be an example of an Aquarian punishment, whether it was an individual that killed you or something like that, right? And so, and then that person that did stone you to death or hurt you would have been exempt from any personal responsibility. Well, this is the life. Guess what? Karma's coming back around, right? So we, the people, will have the power. We, the people, are coming together. And so if you've been feeling a little bit outcast, I think get ready to practice self-discipline. We're stepping into our purpose, our service mission here, and this is how we give power back to the people, okay? And so this is how we eliminate this herd mentality, all right? And so Pluto is saying, hey, I'm here to kill your ego, but eventually that is going to empower you. So the Aquarian purification process is actually very humbling. I will attest to that. It is very humbling. And so with Leo being the opposite sign of Aquarius, Leo is about me, Aquarius is about we. So how do we find that balance, right? Leo is asking us to express our personal individuality, and Aquarius is saying, how can you still find your place in the group, all while embracing that Leo energy? And so it really is a paradox that we're working with this week. Aquarius is also ruled by Uranus. So this is about embracing your originality, your spiritual genius, right? And Aquarius is like, hey, I'm not conforming to anything. And so people with major Aquarian placements in their chart, they're original, they're unique, we're out-of-the-box thinkers. I think of Aquarian energy, and the best word I could come up with to describe Aquarius is liberation. Aquarian energy is liberated. So what I want to say is we will see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I know we hear that a lot, and maybe it doesn't hold a lot of significance at this point in time. But this is the silver lining of this Pluto transit, right? Get ready to go deep into the underworld to find your sacred light, to find that seed point of your purest consciousness in order to strip down the ego of what isn't working. So Pluto's going to ask you to get rid of something, to let go of someone or something, and it's going to feel incredibly difficult to let that person go, and it's likely going to break your ego. But Pluto isn't here to break your spirit, guys. Pluto is here to help you find your true strength, your true power. And so nothing can ever have power over you unless you allow another to control you. So if you've let somebody take advantage of you, if you've been in a power struggle of needing to win, I think you better go within this week and seek your personal expression, your personal truth. Because we're entering this gateway of revolution this week. And so freedom can only be found when we take responsibility for our lives, right? So it is a powerful week. We do have Mars as well going into Cancer on Saturday, and it is also in a quincunx to Pluto in Aquarius. And so this is where I feel the masculines have this intense longing and passion and desire for the feminine. They're going to be like, Mars is going to have a hard time in Cancer. I'm just going to say that because it is a very watery feminine energy. They're going to have a hard time with this, right? But I do feel this is causing a strong desire to be competitive and assertive, to go after the feminine as that desire that they want. And I do think fear is holding them back. There's a little bit of resistance because they don't know if they have a chance at victory. And so it is a very rushed energy. I think the masculines are feeling this energy of like they cannot succeed at anything right now. They're having a hard time manifesting success or deciding on anything. They've listened to a lot of poor advice. They've listened to a lot of distorted, informed opinions. And that's really hindered their decision-making skills on the journey. And so the masculine's going to really have to draw upon some extra courage and some extra willpower this week to really succeed. And I know a lot of the masculines have resorted to this very manipulative, controlling, deceptive behavior and tactics. And I think that's coming full circle. And all of those manipulative, controlling, deceptive tactics are bringing forward the harm, right? It's the energy of all of this catching up to them. In the long run, it eventually always comes back. And so this lapse in judgment that the masculine made has led to a huge mistake. And there's going to be an intensified tower coming in. And I do feel there's a possibility of the karmic bring forward threats or intimidation or exploitation of something. That could lead to violence when it comes to this exposure of the dishonesty and the betrayal. And so this quincunx for the masculine collective is going to bring forward this feeling of them getting knocked off of their high horse. It's also this energy of they're not going to be able to stand being in the same room as the karmic energy. And so this is going to bring a lot of aggressive, assertive, fiery energies. And I do feel the masculine's feeling very much knocked off course. And this has happened repeatedly throughout many lifetimes. And this is the lifetime the masculine becomes strong and confident and powerful to break free from this very dramatic situation that likely repeats and occurs in almost every lifetime, right? Which is why it's so hard for the divine masculine to break that soul tie with the karmic energy. And so this is a period of time with a lot of karmic occurrences, a lot of off-course energies, and a lot of memories from these awful past life experiences coming into the present conscious mind. So all of these memories of all of the past lifetimes that the masculine has carried in this signature of his Mars energy related to all of these traumas, they're going to grow out of proportion. And this is going to create a result of a lot of disassociation from all of these traumatized memories. It's feeling a little bit aloof. And I feel the masculine is so turned off by that karmic situation and that karmic person. And although the concept isn't quite clear moving forward, I do feel the masculine is just feeling like everything is malfunctioning in his life. He's afraid. He's defensive. He doesn't know how to deal with that karmic energy when it comes to getting rid of them once and for all and asserting their boundaries. So it's this energy of unraveling all of this trauma, unraveling from past lives, from this life. And this is going to teach the divine masculine to learn what true power is and what it isn't, right? Because a lot of them did abuse their powers. And so we'll close off the week on Sunday with Mercury in Aries conjunct Chiron in Aries. And so what I find very interesting about this aspect is I am a Mercury in Aries, and my karmic flame or karmic X or whatever is a Chiron in Aries. And so this transit is taking place at 14 degrees 57. And my karmic has his last 0 point in his natal chart at 57 years old. So I'm really not sure what this means, but this is a very rare transit. And this happens only once every 50 years. So I think get ready to reflect on this pain. Although we cannot fully heal our Chiron wound, we can extract the wound, we can extract the experiences, and we can extract the wisdom, right? And so when we extract all of this to the surface, we can now meet some new ideas, and then we can manifest these new experiences from a new higher perspective, right? So this is this weekend coming up is gonna show us the meaning of our life, is what I'm feeling. And so this is going to be a time where we're going to be remembering all of these painful old thoughts, these painful old memories, and we're going to actually do the work to replace them with something better, something that does serve us, like these divine unions, right? And so during this period this week, guys, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with others, and also your relationship with your siblings are likely going to become a major theme this week. And the opportunity to take a close look at these wounds and discover the hidden treasure and the wisdom in them is going to be beautiful, right? Because there's always something deep inside the wound that brings forward a gift. And so get ready to become aware of what's been hurting. Mercury is bringing forward words, thoughts, and memories that will trigger these wounds and hurts. So whether somebody says something to you to trigger them, you're going to likely be in this energy of recalling maybe some hurtful things somebody did to you, some hurtful things somebody said to you, whether it was a parent, a sibling, or somebody that bullied you, maybe a teacher from your childhood, basically anybody in the past that undermined your self-confidence. And so whether this is a peer that made you feel odd or inadequate, or a parent or a loved one, it doesn't really matter. The Mercury energy is allowing us to see and understand this and to grasp it fully, right? To fully grasp it, to fully finally acknowledge this wound of self-worth and inadequacy so we can overcome it. So we got some big energies without a doubt. And currently we're kind of sitting at, when I look at the current astrology, we got the sun at 29 degrees 41 right now. And so we've got some big changes. We're almost out of Pisces season. So goodbye self-loathing. Goodbye. So let's jump in with some cards, guys. Before jumping in with the cards, actually, remember in yesterday's reading when I said a card went flying? I couldn't actually see it when I peeked under the desk, and as I was cleaning up all my cards, my little peanut savvy comes and said, hey, here's a card that you dropped. And I probably should have picked it up yesterday, but apparently the message wasn't supposed to be delivered until today. And look at that. That was the freaking card that fell on the floor, the Royal U. And it's a 16, which is screaming a tower. So one needs to break down within yourself in order to step into the royalness of who you are. So this is feeling like a tower, right? So I'm going to start off the read by reading the Royal U first. And so I just found that. I just kind of had a laugh, right? How do you not laugh at the signs and the things like that? So according to this oracle message, the Royal U does come down to some key concepts surrounding your personal sovereignty. It does indicate responsibility, self-confidence, self-rule, self-ownership of your feelings and your actions, a sense of empowerment, being self-aware, and not allowing outside influences that are out of alignment with your truth to hinder you or distract you. And so, do you know what it means to express your personal sovereignty in your life? How do you hold your inner sense of self-worth and integrity? Are you secure in your beliefs and your unique purpose? Are you comfortable in your own skin, knowing who you are, that nothing outside of you can challenge your authentic self? A hard-earned seat of awareness, right? And so that is that Aquarian energy. So just double confirmation. And so I do feel a realignment of values right now, intentions in your life. That new moon energy is all about intentions. So what is important to you? What is important that you keep your focus on? What is right and what is good for you as well as others? What will benefit everybody? So any challenges coming up this week in your life, no matter how large or how small, are being asked to be met with some type of measured, responsible response. If life is sending you challenges, then maybe it's because you are being asked to speak up and to set some boundaries with grace and surety. Sovereign beings know when to plan their battles and when to stay out of any unnecessary skirmishes where it's just about wielding power back and forth. So now is the time, I feel, both the masculine and the divine feminine are being called to lead from the heart, to lead from your authenticity and from your integrity. So hold your head up high and know your worth. This is a mark of true sovereignty. And I had to share that with you. Okay, so let's jump in with some cards. I am going to use the Spiritual Journey Oracle deck to start today. Well, looky here, guys. We got recovery, we've got some upheaval, and we've got self-actualization. So masculine or feminine, you decide what energies are sitting, and we can harness either or both, but there's going to be some upheaval, whether you've recently experienced this upheaval or are about to. You're going to need to rest. You're going to need to go through a period of healing your heart, your mind, your body, and your soul, and this upheaval is going to bring a moment of self-actualization to get you back on path for your fullest potential. So get ready to go deep into understanding your core strengths this week. Remember that Aries full moon is all about self. You're really going to want to go within and meditate in order to calm the mind. It's time to open up the channels of communication is what I'm feeling. And so major upheaval. So let's see what needs to come through for the twins for the week ahead. We'll get a few messages with this deck. I love it. We'll take them. Bottom of the deck, practice positivity. This does not mean spiritually bypassing, and we can be positive all we want, but we can't have false positivity, right? But what this is indicating is really watch the negative self-talk this week. Really pay attention and bring into your awareness any limiting behaviors that have been keeping you stuck, no matter divine, masculine, or feminine. And get ready to release somebody who's been energetically depleting you, because these energies are intensifying. This karmic cycle, these karmic relationship circumstances must be addressed once and for all. It is a block for us stepping into our purpose. And so whatever karmic situation is intensifying, it is going to come to the surface like a volcano in order to get, I feel, the divine masculine to recognize that he's been neglecting this area of self-development. And so get ready for some type of purpose to be illuminated, your life purpose. Embrace it. Remembrance is coming through. And so, yeah, so try and stay positive through the challenges is what I want to say. There is a major challenge ahead. You're going to have to face it head on. You can't avoid it anymore. It's been avoided up until now. So there's a lot of spiritual testing going on when it comes to our beliefs and our will and choosing to live life consciously. So let's see what needs to come through with the Illumination Oracle deck. Illumination Oracle deck, look at that. Illumination, renewal. So that is indicating a rebirth, a renewal, a reconciliation, rising from the ashes. And that is like total illumination. And after the storm does come the rainbow, right? And that one really wanted to stay there, and hiding the truth was below that. Very interesting. So there's been somebody hiding the truth of their emotions. So we got the renewal state out there. We're going to leave that out there. And we're going to see what else needs to come through with that renewal. A secret renewal? Yeah, the hiding the truth. So I feel the masculine has been secretly planning to go towards you. And I don't think he's told you or told anyone. There's something happening below the surface that you're not aware of. And look at that. You're on path. Major karmic completion. So distance, world travel, short distance, long distance. We're closing out these karmic cycles, and so get ready to climb up the ladder to success. The masculine is getting back on path this week is kind of what I'm feeling. So we will get a couple star seed oracle messages and maybe some numerology messages. We'll see. I'm having a hard time with the cards today. And then we're going to jump in with the tarot, and we're going to see what's coming through for the twins for the week ahead. So we the Hathors, deep, deep love, birth as a portal. We are in the precipice of birthing this portal, right? And so there's a lot of hidden Akashic wisdom coming forward. And so we're going to have to look a little bit deeper this week. So we'll get a few cards from this deck. All right, there we go. Bottom of the deck, breath of the cosmos. My will to thy will. So this is what I'm talking about. Micromanaging the universe. We have free will until we no longer have free will, because divine will always supersede free will. We all have free will. We do not have free will to avoid the consequences of our free will choices. And so the masculines have tried to micromanage the universe and avoided divine will, and they went towards their will, their free will, and now thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven is what I just heard. The divine is stepping in for us to manifest heaven on earth. And so it is this energy of free falling into the void. And so that's what I feel is going on this week for many of the divine masculines. It's a free fall into the void, into the great cosmic womb, because they can no longer rely on these coping mechanisms, because all of these addictions create this very dense energy, and this refusal to let God in has really created this energy of the masculine being all alone in a state of isolation, separated from all physical connection within the spiritual community. And this is to get the masculine to right these past wrongs. So it is a coming to Jesus moment. The masculine is completely defenselessness at this time, as he is being completely uprooted to right these past wrongs and learning a major lesson in watering his own garden, the garden with the feminine, the Eden energy. And so tenderness and resting is what I'm feeling. So this gripping is being released. The masculine's addictions are coming to a dead stop this week in order for that coming to Jesus moment. And so the palindrome energy also indicates mirroring. And so there's the masculine begging the universe for forgiveness. What I just heard was, I didn't know. All right, let's get a couple last oracle messages, and then we will jump in with the tarot. We'll see what needs to come through. Leadership, spiritual leadership, and putting in the effort for our spirituality. Financial discipline too is another lesson. Moderation, right? A lot of these masculines have overspent because of the addictions and the materialism and the greed. And so moderation is key. Look at that. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Look at that. Creativity and effort. So sacral chakra, right? The yellow solar plexus sacral. So the masculine, there's that 3 energy. There's 3 that I talked about. So that is the Empress birthing this new reality. And I think the effort of your creative effort is bring forward this death, this rebirth for the divine masculine. Look at that bottom of the deck. Individuality. Below that, love, spiritual career. So this is about stepping into our Aquarian individuality and an unconditional love. And we are here to build these careers out of our gifts, right? And so Where do you need to lean into your intuition? Because we are persevering and we are manifesting abundance. With the energies this week, it is screaming instant manifestation, healing. You're going to want to trust in your intuition and trust where you're being led is what I'm feeling. So let's jump in with some cards and see what needs to come through. Oh, the Two of Stones in reverse and the Seven of Arrows in reversed. So arrows to me, I feel, are swords. And there's a lot of insecurity issues coming up. And then with this Two of Stones, so I always laugh with this card. So it's like the Two of Pentacles. There's the masculine sparring it out with the karmic, right? It's like this Two of Pentacles, arguing, back and forth, sparring. So facing challenges, especially with these insecurity issues. So let's see what needs to come through for the masculine this week. We'll do a 9-card spread for the masculine, and I will overshadow, like I did last week, with the feminine's energy with a different deck. And we'll see what needs to come through for the masculine first, though. So I'm using the Wildwood Tarot. Oh my God, my cats have been so crazy lately. They're really not happy with the new gate that I put at the bottom of the stairs. It's kind of taller. They're having a hard time jumping over the gate. Panther's a little bit of a fatty. He's a big boy. He weighs more than the dog. But the dog's not allowed down here when I work or anything like that because she just likes to mark her territory on my carpet. So I'm going to be redoing the carpet here right shortly, I think, ripping it up and getting the house ready maybe to sell, I'm hoping, by the end of the summer. Anyway, talking out loud, thinking out loud. What do we got for the masculine? We have the King of Arrows in reverse. The Moon. So the King of Swords in reverse, the Moon, the Two of Bows, decision time, right? There's that fire lit. Then we get the King of Bows, the King of Wands. And look at all of those snakes. It's feeling like an octopusy energy, tentacle-y, or whatever. And then, whoa, look at that, blasting right out of the comfort zone. Dead central energy for the masculine this week. We get the Tower, the blasted oak. And then we get the Five of Bows, the Five of Wands, and this is where the masculine, I feel, steps into personal empowerment. We get the Queen of Bows. So we do get a true pair on the board today. The King and Queen of Wands, the Page of Vessels, the Otter. I like the Otter energy. The Otter is this very, very loving, unconditionally loving energy. Page of Cups, an apology. Wow. And what do we close off with? The Great Bear. So that's the wheel. Things are moving forward. It is time to reap these rewards. Oh my freaking God. You saw me shuffle, right? You saw me shuffle. Bottom of the deck. What have we attracted? The Two of Vessels, the Two of Cups. Wow. Wow. So it does appear the masculine is still having them communication issues. He still has not seen above the fray. It appears in this reading, there's still lies. And that moon is coming in to light a fire. So we got that new moon. Our love just is not water under the bridge, right? Although the bridge was burned, we're here to rebuild. And so this new moon is bringing in a tower. The masculine's about to get blasted out of that comfort zone, out of that contract. He's surrounded by all kinds of snakes and facing all kinds of challenges, which is going to allow him to feel empowered. A decision is being made. And I feel the decision being made is an apology towards the feminine for sure. And this is going to lead to a spiritual reunion. So let's clarify the Tower. So that's a timing card. That's immediate. And because it's with the moon, there's a Tower happening right now for that divine masculine of yours. So let's clarify the Tower. And it is a Tower of the heart. The Ace of Cups. The waters of life, the waters of love, the waters of the feminine, the Three of Cups. And what do we got here? The Seven of Stones in reversed. And so this is a time of healing from the third party situation. The Three of Cups can indicate third party. But I just feel the time for healing is now, the Seven of Stones. And so the masculine has spent a lot of time watering that dead tree where there is no healing. There was a lot of drama. There's a lot of gossip. There's a lot of slander. But ultimately, we do have that Ace of Cups, which is leading to the Two. And so the time for healing is now. And then we get the Nine of Stones, which is about honoring these spiritual traditions. This is about stepping into independence. Kind of looks like a sage on the card. And then we're going right towards the Ten of Cups, which does speak of ultimate happiness, right? So this tower is coming in. It is an emotional tower. It looks like a waterfall of emotions boiling to the surface when it comes to the missed opportunity to build these new foundations of life with the Divine Feminine. The masculine has had a really hard time finding his creativity in that contract that is coming to an end, and he is preparing to come home to the feminine to build a legacy for the future is what I'm feeling. So let's clarify the moon and see what's going to be revealed to the masculine with these moon waters. The Seven of Arrows up right now. So all of his insecurities are boiling to the surface, and the remembrance of the injustice within these connections. So the Two of Arrows, the Two of Swords in reversed, clearly seeing the injustice now. And it feels a little bit like that Libra energy. And then we get the Six of Arrows. And so this is bringing forward a major transition for the Divine Masculine. And he is aiming Kingfisher. That's interesting. Where the girls and I spend our summers out at Mitchell's Bay here. Always... that big red fisher sign going into Mitchell's Bay. I always think of the Kingfisher. And so I do feel the masculine's really lost his spark for life. But things are moving forward, and you are the Archer, Divine Feminine. I'm hearing that song by Taylor Swift, Archer. You might want to go have a listen to it. It is very much rooted in twin flame energies. But there is an apology coming to the Divine Feminine. So let's just clarify the Queen of Bows with the Page of Vessels here. Either way, the overall outcome feels really good. Yeah, look at, there's that Empress. So you are the Green Woman. You are the master of your feminine powers here. And so this is so interesting. We got the Green Woman. And this is what the apology is for. We get the Green Man, the Emperor, in reverse with the Nine of Cups in reverse. There's a big time apology coming for the masculine not honoring the generosity of the Divine Feminine, not respecting the Divine Feminine with the Nine of Wands in reverse. And there's that Chiron aspect coming through. Deeply, deeply wounded. And I do feel the masculine has been exploited somehow by the karmic energy. As a prevention for this reunion coming forward. So the masculine is going through an ego death for sure. All right, let's see what needs to come through for the Divine Feminine. That is wild, guys. That's just wild. All right, we're just going to use, we're going to use the Mythic Tarot. I'm going to overlay this. I'm just going to do the spread above this. I'm going to leave this. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. We're going to do 9 cards for the Divine Feminine and kind of see what comes through for her. But I do feel there is an apology coming. You are birthing this new cycle, and the masculine is definitely going down for the lack of respect and the lack of honesty and creativity. But this is leading to a reunion is what I'm feeling. So let's see what needs to come through for you, Divine Feminine. We are almost at an hour. So top row, Ace of Pentacles in reversed, 5 of Swords, Justice reversed. And it's like this opportunity was stolen from you. It was an injustice. because this was to lead to a legacy for the future, and we get the strength, the dead central energy. There's that Leo. This was to teach you to step into your Leo strength, right? And you had to do this through the lack of communication with the King of Swords in reverse, so the masculine coming through on your reading as well. And so there was an injustice. There's been a lack of communication. There's been a lack of honesty. There's been a lack of truth. And we get the Chariot reversed, the Queen of Cups reversed, and the Seven of Pentacles. And so I do feel everything you've prayed for is coming to fruition. I feel this bottom row is indicating with the Seven of Pentacles, you've waited a long time for this rebalancing, for this truth to be exposed. The karmic energy, I feel, is going through an emotional breakdown. Everything is coming to a dead stop. I also feel you're no longer investing. The masculine realizes you're no longer investing in that. And so the overall outcome, everything is working out. There was a missed opportunity here, right? This was, we were here to build these foundations for the future. And it's taken a lot of strength for the feminine to go through this emotional transformation as well. And the time is now for that unexpected arrival. We got two of the fastest knights coming in with that Seven of Pentacles. To lay down this burden. I do feel the disillusionment is coming to an end, and the universe is pointing to the masculine clearly which cup he needs to go after. And so a long-standing burden coming to an end, and ultimately we are stepping into that union, that Four of Wands union, cause for celebration. So let's take a look at the Strength reversed, because you might also have another emotional purge coming up here this week. To release that abandonment of the masculine in order to open up to receiving that offer, right? I think you're going to be weak in the knees when the masculine comes back with a cup of love and not a cup of bullshit and something solid. So I think get ready to receive a gift. The masculine is coming out of abandonment, and he sees you as that flame. And he wants to revive this. I do feel he's definitely learned the error of his ways when it comes to his manipulative behavior in this betrayal. And he sees you strong, independent, stable. And I think, you know, he's juggled a long time. Do I come in for this union? And I do feel he's coming towards you very, very, very swiftly. So let's close off with some twin flame oracle messages. Any other messages for the twins? Uplifting path. Divine Feminine, your inner work is paying off. I do think we need to get grounded this week as we prepare for this ultimate renewal. And this is it too. The astral travel, the galactic downloads have been so intense. There's a lot of nighttime journeying. There's a lot of meetings with the counterparts in the higher dimensions. And we have been receiving and transmitting and integrating all of these light codes. And so the chakra balancing is going to be very key this week to balance your chakras, keep your energy flow clear and moving. Stay in the now moment, Divine Feminine, to enjoy and attract this into your life. And then I love it. So we get the intuition, the ascension, and the miracles. So we are raising our vibration. All of these old limitations are being released. That Pluto energy is coming in and shedding it all. So listen to the messages, go into these highly sensitive energies and believe and receive, because nothing is impossible. You do hold the key, Divine Feminine. You've always hold the key. You hold the blueprint for this reunion of unconditional love. And so can you get back to forgiveness and this eternal love that the two of you share? Because it's time to manifest these unions. And that's kind of what I got for the week ahead. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated, guys. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out the description box below. I think I'm going to put on a special while Mercury is in Aries over the next couple of weeks. I think I'm going to do a full personal reading special. Keep an eye on the community tab for that. It's going to be like a flash sale, a 2-week flash sale. So if you do want to get booked in, now would be the perfect opportunity to really dig deep into your natal chart to really get you rooted in this next cycle. I hope you all have a great day, everybody. I love you all so much. Have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.